Joe Klecko could have been playing in the 1920s and the 30s when you have these images of guys playing in the mud with the leather helmets. In fact, I'm surprised that Joe even wore a helmet. I think if the league would have permitted it, he would not have even worn a helmet.
Early in my career, we got in a fight with some team over in Shea Stadium. I pulled him out of the pile. We get back to the huddle. He looks at me and he says, hey, he says, you ever do that again? He goes, I'm going to kick your ass right here in front of everybody. I said, Joe, what do you mean? He goes, you either fight with me or leave me alone.
I walked in this door here with a chip on my shoulder. I did. No, I wasn't going to be denied. And if I was denied, they were going to remember me for a long time.
It's truly a privilege to have played with Joe, to watch the Jets step to the plate and say, you know what, we're going to retire your number. You're that good.
I come from a working class people. I was what I was going to do, work the rest of my life.
The 6'4", 260-pound sophomore was honorable mention All-American in '74. Next year, his stock is sure to go up.
I had the chance to get to town pool and everybody talked me into it, and I thought it was a good idea.
Left guard can't handle Klecko.
I wanted to play for the Eagles, hometown boy, you know, that'd been great. Then they didn't take me. I was really mad. But then the New York Jets calls me up in the 6th. I'm saying, who? The New York Jets? You know, at that time, who wants to play for the New York Jets, you know? Good thing.
He was round and pink, I remember, as a rookie, and I thought to myself, who is this ball of lard? And he was able to put those 260 pounds into this one momentum rush that he had that just bowled people over.
I remember he used to play these games with me and say, you know, put your hands up like this. He goes, I'm going to put my hands on my thighs, and when you say go, I'm going to hit you in the chest. And you go, you know, or, you know, do one of these and you can stop. Oh my. Joe, the first time he hit me in the chest, he knocked me like 10 feet back. I go, Joe, I don't want to play these games anymore. You know, we're teammates.
He loved doing that intimidation bit. I think that everyone in the locker room gave Joe just a little bit of leeway. Joe, as I say, loved to make believe he was about to destroy you.
Early in the season, I was walking through the weight room, and Joe said to me, where are you going? I said, I'm leaving. He says, well, aren't you going to lift today? I said, well, I've already lifted, Joe. You guys were getting treatment. I'm going home. He said, listen to me. He goes, I don't have a choice in this matter. He goes, I'm going to have to play alongside of you for as long as you're here. And he says, you need to get stronger. So from now on, you don't leave the complex until I leave the complex.
Klecko understood that he was the most important man on the defense, that the Jets often rose and fell with what he did.
He would tell you what he expected out of you every single game and what he demanded out of you, but you also knew that you were going to get the same out of Joe.
He would just pick people up. Had 20.5 sacks, which was, I think, at that time, the second highest in history, and even now remains the third or fourth highest number of sacks in league history.
To be called the New York Sack Exchange just kind of like fit so nice to be, you know, something to be remembered forever. We were something to be feared.
I don't know if there would have been a sack exchange as the four of us if it wasn't for Joe. I think the original theme behind that was marketing ability was Joe and Mark.
They originally wanted the two of us, and I just put an axe on that. I said, listen, if it's going to be a sack exchange, it's going to be four of us, because without Abdul and Marty, Mark and I are nothing.
Klecko was never a bragger. Klecko had great pride in what he did, but he always wanted to share it with the other guys. He never, ever took credit alone for anything.
Humility is a thing that's lost in this game today that I would love to see come back. Like I said, I don't think there's too many guys out there that can spell it, let alone act it. I told my son Danny, I said to him, I said, if you ever decide to celebrate over something on the field, I said, hurry up and turn around, because the first person you're going to see is me, and I'm going to be kicking your butt.
Joe played with broken everything. He was a force.
He would go and play the game, take a few injections to be able to play, and then right after the game, they'd put him in a cast. So we didn't practice all week, and the next week we'd go out for the game, they'd cut the cast off, do the same thing.
I always worried about it being over, either injury or something like that. I never took it for granted, never took it for granted.
here's a guy that made All-Pro at 3 different positions. He deserves a place in NFL history in Canton, Ohio. This is a guy that gave so much to the organization, so much to his teammates, and so much to the fans. He deserves to be recognized. If he's not going to be recognized by the people in Canton, Ohio, take the first step as an organization and recognize him and say thank you.
There's no doubt this is going to be a special, special day. It all hasn't hit me yet. You know, the one thing that constantly resonates through my head is that that's going to be there until the day I die and my grandkids are there. And that's a pretty special thing.